Hey guys, Exploring with Chelsea here. A new day, and we are out in Florida, and Junior's here. He got to see his first iguana. Um, we are going to the Everglades today, and we're gonna go and have some fun doing that. So that'll be a first time for me, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a warm, sunny day. It's supposed to be a high of 79 today, and sunny. The rest of the week it's supposed to be either cloudy or raining, which no big deal. We're all wash and wear. But I have, of course, my water because I have been dying of thirst the last couple of days. And so Junior and I are going to go out. I do have another person who's here traveling with me. They will not be in any of my videos though, but they are here with me, and the videos you're going to see are just going to be of me and Junior. So don't forget to stick around, like and subscribe, and don't forget to share. Thanks guys.
Park, and then you want me to go take a picture?
More foliage on the right.
Now we got more thick, bushy stuff growing on the right. Grassy stuff of the trail is more of the freshwater's prairie habitat, composed of grasses, sedges, wildflowers, all kinds of herbaceous plants that like it to be a little lower and a little wetter. We also have just some views of some of the different kinds of tree islands. Close up on the right side, we have a more immediate view of one of several different types of tree islands possible with different raises and elevation. And this one is called a bayhead. It tends to be made of plants like cocoa plum and sweet bay magnolia, native plants that usually grow in the form of a shrub or a small tree. And they only average together about 6 to 8 inches in elevation higher than the prairie. So in the middle of the dry season now, there's probably going to be some dry ground in the middle of this bayhead, but this is an environment that does still tend to easily flood depending on substantial amounts of rainfall. So these are plants that tend to grow in more woody forms, but are also tolerant to periods of intermittent flooding. So all of that stemming from less than 1 foot's change in elevation. Now, as we move into stuff, there's periphyte covering the ground. And that is why it has earned the nickname Everglades Gold. That's all it took to get some dry ground on the surface.
During the wet season, how close will the water come up to this boardwalk?
So I can't recall this boardwalk ever having flooded.
Okay.
It might get, in extreme cases, it might get to like the lower edge of the wood platform. But I can't ever remember a time that it's actually flooded the boardwalk. So probably about a foot's difference in depth, I'd say,
Okay.
is what we would see in this specific. Historically, this has been the home of many native tribes across the centuries. A couple of tribes that still live in the area to the present day include the Seminole and Miccosukee tribes. And during the early to mid 1800s, they moved into Florida primarily to escape capture by the United States Army, who at that time was seeking to remove many eastern tribes out to regions further west. This is why a large area of places like Oklahoma, we have Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, as well as part of the Seminole tribe as well. But the habitats that were used by these people were mainly the different kinds of tree islands, especially the ones that were slightly higher in elevation, like the hardwood hammocks. Hammocks were very dense, very hard to penetrate, and so in the middle of hammocks is where they would often build their camps, composed of these wooden structures called chickees. And the chickee would essentially be a set of 4 wooden platforms with a thatched palm roof covering it above. And then down below, depending on their exact use, they would either have a raised wooden platform as the floor to keep out potential water intrusion or curious wildlife, or some of them would also be open at ground level to provide a cooking fire that could be used continuously. And even the cooking fire was a primary means of communication among the tribes during this time, because it allowed them to know each other's whereabouts without being detected from those outside of the tribe. They would arrange the logs of the cooking fire according to north, south, east, and west. So if anybody needed to leave on short notice, they could pull out the log from the direction they're going, and that way anyone from their family would know where to find them. These hammocks were often spread out across several miles of thick sawgrass prairie across the Everglades. So this was an environment that for a long time was very difficult to penetrate and navigate. And so as a result, the Seminole tribe was never fully removed from Florida, and the Miccosukee tribe has also remained in Central and South Florida to the present day. So these tribes, they have houses, they have airboats, they have cars, they use a lot of the same amenities we use in the present day. They also have their own school systems, their own administration and law enforcement, hospitals, but they still retain a lot of that traditional knowledge, and they teach their language onto their descendants. They maintain ties with a lot of their ancestral locations throughout the Everglades. And so because they are the only known tribes to have never signed any kind of peace treaty with the United States government, they are known as the unconquered tribes. And they still have many communities around Central and South Florida to the present day. And so these elevated environments like the tree islands meant their very survival. They harvested many different native plants and animals for food. Some plants also had medicinal properties as well. And if you're interested in learning more about them, we do encourage you to pay them a visit and learn directly from them. We do have a Miccosukee Cultural Center just down the road from us that is open to the public. It's run by the tribe. They offer a museum and gift store, demonstrations including gator wrestling, so a demonstration on a live alligator of how they would historically hunt alligators in the wild. And the tribes by far are their own best resource.
Over an entire foot in elevation.
Gator on my side.
Cool.
Oh, gator.
Alright, so gator on my side. On Carlos's side, you have a very large white bird, and a couple of people tend to think of the Everglades as a swamp. Think of the Everglades as a seasonal river. Swamps consist of stagnant water. Okay? Here, today, you came out of the water is usually right underneath the road, or either level with the road or just below the road. This past wet season, this past summer, we had a very, very dry wet season. One of the driest, the driest wet season I've experienced out here. Northern part of South America, throughout Central America. Every dry season, we have over 350 different species of migratory birds that come here. Easy fishing. Now, obviously, not all our fish are going to die. This tree island is the first of 4 tree islands we're going to point out. Those are coastal plain willow trees. I know they look dead, but most of them drop their leaves. This tree island is often referred to as a willowhead. If you know willows, you know they like water. So there's a deep pool of water in the center of this tree island. Now, the same thing that created those trails you were asking about a few minutes ago, created that tree island. These are also referred to as alligator holes.
If you want to just go and then
Over time of the alligators, whether it's one gator or a few generations of gators, digging at that same hole in the ground, that depression gets deeper and deeper. And you only have to dig about a foot to hit groundwater. Being that it fills up with groundwater, it will retain water all year, even at the peak of the dry season. So this is essentially like an oasis, right, that the gators are digging. Because of that, the fish that make it throughout the dry season, or don't get eaten by the birds, they rely on these gator holes. The birds too, once the prairie is dry, they need water, and all their food is there. The mammals too, everyone, all of the wildlife within the Everglades, they all rely on these alligator holes to survive the peak of the dry season. That's why we consider the gators our keystone species. And game. Usually like pointing out the limestone here on my side. That's all limestone. Oh, I look at the limestone. So this tree island started off kind of like that, just a rise in elevation. On top of that rock, soil accumulates. If you get about 6 to 9 feet or so of soil, that will remain high and dry all year, allowing hardwood trees to grow, giving you what we call a hardwood hammock. Now this is a small example that could get over a mile long, but the center remains high and dry all year. We have a variety of hardwoods, both temperate and tropical. Later on in the tour, if you haven't heard of the Hermes python issue, it's basically a very large constrictor that was established here, introduced by the pet trade, and it has caused a massive ecological disaster. But again, I will talk more about it later on, and I have photos to show you. And if you guys are cool enough, you want to ask me at the tower to show you a really cool video of a gator dragging the biggest python I've ever seen in my life, I would love to show you because it was probably the coolest thing I've seen out here. So sadly, it is a slim chance we're going to see many mammals today. But the river otters are the easiest ones to see nowadays. I think they're just they're savage and they're intelligent and they get away from the pythons.
Apex predators.
Flatland. But it's pretty much the same cat. In fact, when I was a child in the 90s, in Florida we only had about 20 individuals. 20 panthers in the entire state. So you can imagine the issues with inbreeding and all that. But the state brought over some Texas cougars. Which, again, pretty much the same thing. So those cougars helped out the panther population. Today we have about 250 in the whole state. We'll get better views of that bird, but that is an anhinga. There's another one over there. On the canal side, we'll for sure see a lot of those. They're all out. Anhinga. They're hanging out here because they're a diving bird.
Yeah.
This is obviously a much deeper body of water. This is not a massive alligator wolf. Pine Rockland Forest is the highest and driest elevation within all of South Florida. That's by the main entrance, by Ernest Gomez Center. And then, of course, the coral reefs along the coast. You have to go swimming for those. I highly recommend you go check out the coral reefs here in South Florida. They are beautiful if you like scuba diving, snorkeling, if you want to go on a glass bottom boat tour.
Unfortunately,
Oh my god, look at the size of this.
And they serve as body armor. Hard bone. If you try punching this guy on the back, I promise he's going to do more damage to your fist. Okay. Why do they need body armor? Protection. Protection from who?
Each other.
Each other. They are extremely territorial. They do often fight. A lot of the time it's just a little cut, a little scrape, or just a lazy chase off. Sometimes they do get into some epic battles. We're gonna keep this PG, so I'm not gonna tell you too many details, but I'm gonna pass this around. Here you go. Hello, camera. Please, I like you guys.
airboat ride is next, guys.
Birds, it's kind of a rare bird to see in the Everglades. It's a purple gallon, the pretty ones. They're beautiful. They're an invasive bird. Come from Argentina. I want to get a picture of that bird if I can.
I think they're hungry.
No, they just, no, they're beggars.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Took a year and a half to get this bird to do this.
Really?
Oh my god.
He is. Coming this way.
This is Rodrigo.
No,
right
he gets
here.
beat up.
Lulu's missing a middle toe.
Oh, Rodrigo.
Stuck down there. The brown one's a female grackles, and the blue one's with the white tin of male grackles.
Oh, crackle.
Yeah, grackles. Alright, y'all ready to go see some gators? Yeah. You gotta get off, girl. That's Lulu. You see she's missing that middle toe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah, he is.
Alright, here, one more piece. Too much gluten for you today. Go ahead. So they're cold-blooded reptiles, alligators, and the water's kind of chilly for them right now. It's about 72 degrees. They really don't like anything under about 85 degrees. So most of them are going to be sitting out today trying to get as much sunlight as possible. And their backs are very important to them for this. Their backs are hard like turtle shells because they got thousands of blood vessels that run through those high ridges.
Okay.
Those high ridges are called scutes. So their back's like kind of like a solar panel form to warm up their blood, being a cold-blooded reptile.
So how long do they live?
How long do they live?
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, 120, 150 years.
Wow.
You know, in the 80s, we haven't been tracking alligators until.
Because when I was in Costa Rica, they had some.
Yeah, I just went in June. You crossed that bridge where they hit them big
Yeah,
crocs?
that's where they throw the chickens out.
Yeah,
That's crazy,
I just
isn't
went there in June. They had that big one they call Tyson.
Yeah, I was there a few years back, but yeah, it was crazy. That bridge is cool. I mean, it was a fun trip.
Hello.
Alligators cannot really see in the daytime, you guys. They got terrible daytime vision, so they go off of vibrations in their faces. All around their faces, like all these little black dots you see right here, those are vibration sensors. They feel things on the water and they go to it. He's really slow moving. He don't, you know. Their ears are located right here behind the eye. They got eyes like a frog. They got a nictating membrane for when they submerge. I'll shut his eye right now. Got 80 teeth in their mouth. Their tongues are very sensitive. All those little white dots on the tongue, so they'll sit underwater and just sit there with their mouths open. Anything hits that tongue, they're gonna come down, and it's.
Look at that tail.
Wow.
The tail is huge.
Yeah, he can't see in the front. They'll come down and they can squeeze down to 2,000 pounds per square inch of the jawbone.
Whoa.
Yeah, this guy, he can break turtle shells.
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't want you to get hurt, John, because we got to get back.
That's all you worry. You ain't worried about me. You worry about getting back. They have 80 teeth in their mouth. They'll lose them and grow them back. You know, they might go through 2,000-3,000 teeth in a lifetime if they live long enough.
Gosh.
Their throats stay closed. They can't get any water in their bodies. Their nose is automatically closed when they submerge.
So are they totally carnivorous?
Yeah. I mean, I've fed them apples and things,
Or
bananas.
just, just the bread.
Yeah, bread, but like I mean, anything that comes close enough to him out here, they're gonna grab it
Yeah.
if he's hungry. You know, they don't need to eat all the time. Once a week, and they can go 2 years without eating if they had to.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, it's coming on. I'm camera shot. I seen this guy in that last fight one day. We were sitting right here. They were both right here. Big bug just like this, and that big one grabbed him by the head, and they started flipping. Man, that white shirt of yours, people were full of mud. You'd be so mad. You'd want that bird crap bag on your hand. Your shirt would be black.
So do they have their own sort of areas that they protect, or?
Yeah,
So
they're pretty
beautiful.
territorial. He's been leaving every night and going. Really eating right now. It's not mating season. If it was mating season, I would understand, but I don't know what he's doing every night. But he comes right back over here.
He's looking for a tasty morsel on here.
I think he needs a marshmallow.
Yeah, we can't do that here in Florida.
Oh, I know they do it in Louisiana.
Yeah, that kills alligators here in Florida. I've been feeding alligators more since I was 9 years old. I ain't seen one die from a marshmallow. But we can feed it to our kids, but just not the alligators who have stomachs that can digest iron fish hooks. Lady in California got me in trouble with that with the wildlife and fishery.
Really?
Oh, listen to that.
Yeah, you gotta watch him. He's fast.
Is it a little close for you, Lynn?
It's just, I feel it's slightly uncomfortable.
All they can see is white in the daytime, so you should.
Okay.
You're the only one with white on the boat.
Now you tell me.
She gonna look like a marshmallow out here. She falls off the boat.
You take a picture for me.
No.
Oh, I don't mind. It's on that side of the boat. I'm just getting half the boat and a little bit of the eyes.
So is this one younger?
Yeah, that one's probably about 30, 40 years old.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, how fast they are. Very fast.
I think I missed that.
Got it on video though.
No, well,
Heart missed the beat. That's what it is.
So what part of Louisiana you said you lived in?
I was born in New Orleans. Lived in Gretna and Belch's majority of my life.
The only place I've ever moved.
Yeah, that's where I have a house now in Lafayette. Bill Flat.
Yeah.
When I leave here, that's when Lafayette was considered a foot on the body line.
All right.
oh. Let me get my tape measure out.
Swimming,
Right.
yeah. Get your tape measure out.
Fascinated with his nostrils.
My heart's going like this.
You're seriously
Really?
impressed, aren't you? Lynn's seriously
I'm pretty
impressed.
sure he can't get in the boat.
I'm
now.
sure
He
he
could
can't.
if he
He
wanted.
could
Oh
if he
my
wanted to.
goodness.
In Louisiana, you could be chicken and walking across the bow.
I know.
And one of them fell, so our boats are different. The seats are raised on the platform, and one.
Alrighty.
Alright, this is where y'all sleeping tonight. Y'all want to take a look?
Scratch or bite? I wouldn't. I know that.
Accent.
Oh, I grew up in California,
Oh,
but I was born in Georgia and I live in Georgia.
oh, okay.
And I don't have a strong. But if I talk to people from
I
California,
was born on this island right here. He started this tour company about 45 years ago. He was born in the 1920s, and he got the their sovereignty with the United States in 1963. They were actually a large tribe at one time from like the Piedmont area between like New Jersey and Georgia and Alabama. And in the 1800s, in the three American Indian Wars, they were forced south first to Tallahassee, then Lake Okeechobee. After the third Indian War, there's only about 290 of them left. They moved. Everybody else surrendered. The Creeks, the Seminoles, Muskogees, and they came to the Everglades and moved on islands like this to hide out and survive. Yeah, there's only about 600 of them left now to this day. Their houses are called cheeky huts.
He's coming up.
They're replicas, but this is what they look like. They lived by a matriarchal system. Now they got a man chief. He was voted in just over Miss Betty with a couple votes, but back in the day, the women had to say they owned the island. They had the final word. So, yeah, smart decisions would be made if y'all still did have the final word. But
Yeah.
Josh was like, yeah,
No,
that's
I
pretty
agree.
much.
I agree.
There's a bird over there.
It's on my phone, so you can't.
Yeah, I can.
okay.
Watch your footing.
Somebody live here?
No. Oh, it's a outhouse.
Oh, okay.
So beautiful, little one. Bamboo. Our gator friend is still there. He moved up. Silly little guy moved up. Apparently the raccoons left.
We met we had so much fun.
This is the kind of exploring I love, guys. I know. So far, no luck. See a little kid there. Baby.
Babies.
He's small, so he's around.
Baby ones. They look just like the big ones. Just
Oh yeah. Well, no, that's
There's a nest.
I can make a little splash. Get him out.
Is this a nest that's up over here? No? See the hole?
He's about a 4-year-old. He's about this big.
Fish took it.
So how big are they when they're born?
They're like 4 inches.
Oh wow.
Fish.
Coming out with that. Relax. We ain't seen him in days, and he was just out this morning. Can't make him come out.
Nope.
So as you see, Junior and I went and did the Everglades, and we did an airboat tour and had a blast. Got to see a lot of gators, and that was so much fun. Learned a lot. Florida is very swampy. If any of you don't know this, Florida is very swampy, and it's also got limestone, a lot of limestone for the groundworks, basically. And it's, as you saw in the video at the beginning, the Everglades on one side was anywhere between 6 inches and 2 feet higher in elevation than the other side. It was the left side that was higher than the right side, and the right side was more prone to flooding. They said that it has flooded numerous times, but not more than a couple of feet, and not enough to, I guess once in a while it has flooded enough to where it comes out onto the trails at the Everglades, but for the most part that's only happened a handful of times in the however many years that the Everglades has been open. So that tells you how often it doesn't flood too terribly bad out there. As for the airboat tour, that was so much fun. When we went to the island, I do believe that the gentleman said that it was owned by the Seminoles. And we had a gator that actually, he stayed in the water, but he came up pretty close. and was like, hey, I'm here. And it was a lot of fun. It was just the other person who was traveling with me, myself, and 3 other people, along with the airboat operator. And he was from Louisiana, so he was used to the terrain and everything like that. And we had a blast, and I can't wait to go back. I will only go back in the winter because white girl does not look good with an afro. Even though I have long hair, my hair, I can almost sit on it. And even with my hair pulled back in a braid, it was still puffy because of the humidity, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it could be in the summer. I just don't do well with the humidity. My skin loved it, but my hair doesn't. And I want to go back. I want to go down to the Keys. I want to do a couple other things down in Florida. Go back and visit my people, which you will see in next week's video. You'll see that. You'll see them. This is another mini series. There's going to be a grand total of, I think, 4 videos. And you'll see that, and you'll see my crew in the next video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hang out for more adventures with me, Junior, and a couple other friends. But enjoy, guys. Thanks so much for watching.